What's up everybody, it's John here. In this episode of the Afterwalk, we'll be photographing the KL Skyline. Let's get started, shall we? Let me show you my city. In continuation through the theme from my previous videos, we are going to be photographing Kuala Lumpur skyline. Let me show you how I built a photograph from various focal length to photographing a panorama across the city skyline. My weapon of choice today is the EOS R, and right now I've got the Canon RF 15-35 attached to the camera, which will make a small cameo. Let me show you the view of the day to fill you guys in the subject of what we are shooting, the Kuala Lumpur skyline. The skyline is rather far away from where I'm standing, and the 70-200mm will make a huge difference. And don't mind me how I changed my lenses. It's how I've been doing all these years. In touch wood, no lens fell down and went out of commission all these years. Moreover, right now I've got a built-in lens holder, which is my tummy. I'll mostly be shooting with the Canon RF 70-200 today, and you'll see why. So let me explain my setup today. I've got the 70-200 mounted on a tripod. So where I am right now is overlooking to KL Skyline, and it's pretty far away. The 70-200 will bring the whole entire scene a lot closer, and it will be a magnificent photo, hopefully. For now, let's try to do different variation of this shot. This is how the photo looks like at 70mm. What I'm going to try to do is to zoom into 200mm. And immediately it is rather tight of a frame. So I've rotated the camera to portrait mode. So I'm going to zoom into 200mm, bringing the whole entire landscape closer to me. And when I do that, I could only focus on a certain part of the whole entire picture here. I'm going to go and take like sequence of images, rotating using the tripod to get the whole entire scenery, and later on in Lightroom, I'm going to stitch them all together. Let's do it. With Panorama, you would want to expose the shots manually so that the exposure is consistent through and through. You wouldn't want to have your second photograph brighter than your fifth photograph, so on and so forth. You want to make sure that some of the frames are actually overlapped. So then in Lightroom, there is data for the stitch to happen. As for the focus point, I just rely on the camera's autofocus to make sure the buildings are selected when taking the shot. And at the end of the day, in Lightroom, I'm going to stitch them up together so I have all the megapixel the EOS R could give me. It's rather overcast today, there's not much of a color. I was kind of hoping that the sunlight do pierce through the clouds, but that's not happening today. Let's jump into Lightroom quickly. In this demo, I photographed a total of 12 images in a sequence. Note that all these are in portrait mode, and that's how we can maximize the camera's resolution. Right-click on the selections and select Photo Merge Panorama, and Lightroom will generate a preview of the whole entire panorama stitch. There you go. And that's how it looks like. I'm going to use spherical because the way I photograph was rotation on the tripod, and I'm just going to do a quick fix on that boundary wrap, and it automatically fixed the edges for me. I don't want to do auto crop, it does nothing because I did the boundary wrap already. Auto settings will change all the color and try to correct the colors on the raw file. Create stack basically is just a user interface where it group all these photos together in a stack for you to manage in the Lightroom library. So what I'm going to do is just going to merge this item right now, and it will take a while to process. That's 29,391 pixel times with 6,659 pixel. So I could apply my presets and adjust the highlights and shadows, the exposure, the contrast to get the kind of colors. So this is the entire panorama. So these are individual shots which I stitched together in Lightroom quite seamlessly without any errors. It looks pretty good, and if I were to zoom in, the amount of detail I could see in this photo is simply amazing. That's pretty sharp. You can read the Fraser's residence over here. I was scrolling around, I could see Sheraton pretty alright. Let it render a little. There you go. And it looks pretty good. I can read Shangri-La Hotel pretty clear right here. There you go. It's getting dark right now. The city lights are all coming on. Before I show you the last final photo that I created today, thank you for watching through and through this episode of the Afterwalk. I hope you guys like this video. Now, if you like, do click on the thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, do subscribe, click on the notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Ciao, bye.